to wrap it up, in the final show, it'd be good to discuss about the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So again, the studio hotline is 07885599786. That's 07885599786. If you got any comments, thoughts, or anything you want to share, then you're more than welcome to share a text or a WhatsApp on that number. So when it comes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I think first I'll start with it. There's a beautiful hadith that's mentioned. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, inculcate your children with three characteristics: love of your Prophet, love of his family, i.e. Ahlul Bayt, and love of reciting the Quran. And this hadith is in the Islamic, so it's found in that report. So what is this is and I think there's a different variation as well with similar as well. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, inculcate your children with three characteristics: love of your Prophet. So we discussed in terms of what is needed. First and foremost, I think, if you're going to inculcate any love to our children, then we have to learn about that in ourselves and try and imbibe that within ourselves as well, and hopefully then we can try to inculcate that within our children as well, love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the two sort of the greatest ways to increase or put love of anything is to show the beauty of that thing in itself or that person himself, and the second is to show the benefit that's derived from itself or that person. Because once we find something that is beautiful, and we'll naturally, our inclination will be towards love of that thing. And the second thing is, once we experience benefit of something, then we will also incline towards loving that thing as well. So that's why it's very important that we study the Shumail, the description, behavior, mannerism, characteristic, and from all walks of life with regards to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the more we learn, the greater our love will increase, because we will see the beauty of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the next one is in terms of the benefits. If we study the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in terms of some of the great miracles he's done, about the seerah and all the things that he's done, even if you look at ourselves and if you relate to everything that we do, is really down to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The way we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even recognize who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, the Quran, all our forms of prayers or worship and everything is because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us, or we have narrations that's going back from Sahabas who narrated how they saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam perform. Even our sort of culture and traditions, a lot of it is based from the prophetic era as well. The way we eat, how we share food, this concept of sharing food and offering guests and strangers food and stuff like that is it's not found in every culture. But generally speaking, you find that in Islamic and Muslim cultures is something that is very common. We take it for granted, where we offer food and share food with anybody and everybody. It is from the prophetic tradition, prophetic practice. And in terms of our dress code and our appearance and everything as well. So we see all the benefits that's derived from the Prophet ﷺ, and that will naturally make us love him as well. So the hadith says, inculcate your children with three characteristics: love of your Prophet. So that's something that we should do anyway. And one of the once we if we can try and achieve that, the more love we have of the Prophet ﷺ, the more we are sort of conscious or aware about the Prophet ﷺ as well. And if that becomes our sort of daily our mindset and our thought process is based on that, then you will find that we will be more inclined towards doing things that the Prophet ﷺ loved, doing things that he liked to do, doing things that he commanded us to do, i.e. pray, worship, following in his sunnah and various other things as well. And the next one, he says, love of his family. So the next command is to love of the family of the Prophet ﷺ. And this is something that I don't know, sometimes it's discussed to a certain extent, but I think it should be done a lot more as well. So love of his family. So we should sort of, first of all, family generally speaking, from a sociological aspect of view, is to, it talks about anybody individual. It's about their parents, it's about their spouses, it's about their children, their grandchildren. All these people are inculcated into this umbrella of family. So we have to learn about the Prophet ﷺ with regards to his family, with regards to his parents, his grandparents, his uncles, his aunts, from his maternal and paternal side as much as we can, going back as many generations back as well. And then from Prophet ﷺ, we need to learn also about his the mother of the believers, his wives, from Sayyidina Khadija radiallahu anha to the other wives as well. The most famous one everyone's probably heard of, Sayyidina Aisha, Maymuna, Salama, Habiba, and Zainab, and all the other ones as well. And then going to the children of the Prophet ﷺ as well, the famous, his daughters and his sons as well. Prophet ﷺ, he had sons and daughters as well, but unfortunately his sons did not live till the adulthood. They all passed away at a young age. And then we need to learn about the grandson of the Prophet ﷺ as well, the most famous of the two being Hassan and Hussein, through his daughter Sayyidina Fatima and her husband Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib. So they're the families. And then one of the great blessings we have, and the Prophet ﷺ, the famous hadith I mentioned, he said, I leave behind two things, the Quran and Sunnah. In another narration he mentions, the Prophet ﷺ said, right, I have left you two things. If you stick with it, you will not be misguided. The Quran and my family, Ahlul Bayt. The word Ahlul Bayt, just in case for our listeners out there, anybody who's wondering what is Ahlul Bayt, Ahlul Bayt is just, it's Ahlul means the family of the Bayt, the family basically. It's in reference to the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if I use those words synonymously in the same thing, talking about the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ahlul Bayt. And the third instruction the Prophet sallallahu said, right, is to love of reciting the Quran. So just look at the order. It's worth reflecting even on the order itself as well. Prophet ﷺ said, inculcate your children with three characteristics. And look at the order, because everything what the Prophet ﷺ said, it cannot be done in any better way, including his speeches, including what he said, the command is given. So, and there's also significant importance as well, the orders that Prophet ﷺ mentions. So he says, inculcate your children with three characteristics: love of your Prophet, love of his family, and love of reciting the Quran. And mashallah, we're in the month of Ramadan, and it is a month which is goes hand in hand with the Quran as well. And this is something that's great, because the Quran has been recited, and we do encourage our children to learn the Quran, to read the Quran, and try and memorize as much as possible, trying to make them hafiz as well. And parents put great emphasis on that, especially from a young age. And you see that in madrasa, and I see that myself as well, being involved with madrasa as well, which is fantastic and it's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But one of the things that when you talk to parents and when you're trying to make them understand is, what about the other two commands that's about that Prophet ﷺ said, inculcating the love of the Prophet and his family. And that's where I think you find it can be very lacking as well. So, talking about the Prophet ﷺ, I think, if anybody's got any comments or thoughts, you're more than welcome to share on 0788 5599 786. That's 0788 5599 786. First and foremost, I think my daughter Rumaisa, I think she's very eager to share about one of the members of the Prophet ﷺ. Are you ready? Okay, then go on. Then Rumaisa will be narrating a story about the Prophet ﷺ by his family. Go on, Rumaisa, start.
Sayyida Umama, she was a daughter of Sayyidina Abdul As bin Rabi. She was born of Sayyida Zainab radiallahu anha, the eldest daughter of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Her pedigree runs as under Umama bint Abdul As bin Rabi Abdul Uzza Hamza bin Abdul Shams bin Abd Manaf. She was greatly loved by the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He did not like to separate her when offering his prayers. It is stated in Sahih Bukhari that on one occasion the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to the mosque with child Umama on his shoulder. He offered his prayer with Umama mounted upon him. When he lowered for ruku or for sajda, he put the child gently down and mounted her again on his shoulder. When ruku and prostration had been done, Allahu Akbar, what an affection. Once a golden necklace was received by the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a gift from Najashi of Ethiopia. Umama was playing in the corner of the house. He said he would give it to the most beloved person. The wives of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam thought that it would go to Sayyida Aisha. He called Umama near him and put the garland in her neck. Some say it was a golden ring. Near the demise of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she had attained puberty when Sayyida Fatima passed away. Sayyida Ali married Umama. Sayyidina Ali married Umama. Abdul As had made a parting request to Sayyid Zubair bin Awam, who was one of the 10 persons who received glad tidings of paradise and a cousin of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay. Thank you, Rumaisa. That was very nice, Rumaisa. Okay, so that was talking about Umayma, who was the granddaughter of who was the granddaughter of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she was his granddaughter through Sayyidina Zainab. She was the daughter of Zainab, Umayma radiallahu anha. And one of the things that you learn from that narration is that you could see how Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how affectionate and how caring that he was with children as well. I mean, it's a famous narration. I think most people they quote the hadith, but they don't necessarily sort of mention the person or the name of the child. You know, when it comes to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how he would pray and he would have a child climbing over him, and he would allow the child to sort of continue playing on top of him whilst he's praying, and he would move his postures until the child finished in that posture basically. And that gives you a very beautiful, first of all, image of the Prophet ﷺ in the sense of how compassionate, how merciful he is with children as well. And you can see the children as well, how they feel so confident, and they feel they have that connection with the Prophet ﷺ in terms of approaching him whilst he ﷺ is praying and climbing him as well. So the child becomes familiar with the prayer in itself from an early age as well. And unfortunately, this is something that we lack in this day and age. You know, you see that, and I've seen it often, that especially in some of the places of worship, they don't allow children to even, they discourage children from attending the prayers of worship to come and observe. And I've seen parents and adults as well sometimes, they're very sort of strict and harsh with their children. I'm talking about young children, 3 years old, 2, 3 years old, 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds. They give them strict instructions: don't come near me whilst I'm praying, telling them off, don't go this, don't do that, sit there. It's completely sort of make them, in a way, make the child feel that that they should have nothing whatsoever to do with worship when that's taking place. And that's a really negative experience for the child. And so, and Prophet ﷺ, he completely destroys that ideology, the mentality, the thought process. It's good to see your children. You should allow your children to come near you whilst you're praying. Yes, they are causing distractions, but the child will have that affiliation with prayers and you, and remember that with fondly, hopefully, as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have different narration. In a slightly different narration, it's mentioned that Prophet ﷺ, he would allow Hassan and Hussein as well would be doing the similar things as well. He would go in sujood, or he would go in ruku, and they would climb on top of him. And Prophet ﷺ, he would not move from one position to the other until his grandchildren got down, or they finished playing, basically riding him and stuff like that. So this particular narration, it was about Sayyidina Umayma, the daughter of Zainab, and you could see how Prophet was affectionate towards her as well, and how beloved she was to Prophet ﷺ. And it's mentioned that when she passed away, when Prophet passed away, and then when Sayyidina Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet, when she passed away, Sayyidina Ali married her afterward. So that's the daughter of Zainab. Then we have, in terms of, when it comes to the family of the Prophet, obviously we should learn about his parents, his Abdullah, his father Abdullah, and his mother Amina as well. I think most people are aware about the name, but we should also try and learn some details about them as well. I have Sayyidina Amina, how she's connected or related, going back to Medina as well, and Abdullah as well. And this, one of the things I would advise people is, which we don't, unfortunately, sometimes I've got into conversation, and when it comes to talking about the parents of the Prophet ﷺ, people quote things and say things, and if when I ask them, right, have you actually studied Islamic creed book, Islamic creed from traditionals of Ahl Sunnah, in terms of from the Maturidi and the Ashari point of view? And they say, what's that? First, some of the Muslims will say, what's that? Ashari, Maturidi. And then those who know, they'll say, no, I haven't. Then you ask them, then why are you making statements about the process? I mean, if you haven't studied the creedal point of view from the Ashari and the Maturidi, which up until 200 years ago, even to this day as well, they all followed either the Ashari or the Maturidi. And I think I mentioned in the past as well, the Hanafis generally followed the Maturidi creedal school of thought, and the Shafis and the Malikis followed the Ashari creedal point of Ashari view. And then you find, if you study that, then you'll find that we believe that the parents of the Prophet ﷺ, they nobody can say that they died in a state of kufr, because because there's a hadith that mentions something which has many meanings to it as well. But the general point of view is that the parents of the Prophet ﷺ, the most we can say is they died as a Hanif, as a believers, basically. And then we have, obviously, you should learn about the uncles and aunts of the Prophet ﷺ and his grandfather as well, Abdul Muttalib. And one thing again, this is coming from a different school of thought as well, because who are the Ahlul Bayt? There are differences within the mazhabs, and even within the school of thought, within the creed as well, there are different views as well. The most famous one being, some say that from the Hashemites, they are Ahlul Bayt. Some say it's from the Quraysh or the Ahlul Bayt. Others say is anybody who's related from two uncles, actually 2 and 3. That's from the Maturidi perspective. Okay, so 2 and 3, and the Hanafi as well, 2 and 3, which is from Abbas and Harith, and then on the other hand you have Akil, Jafar and Ali. So descendants through those 3 and descendant from Abbas and Harith are considered Ahlul Bayt. We're going to continue inshallah after this break.
Radio Ramadan Sheffield, your local station in the month of Ramadan on 87.7.
अरूज मेगा बुफे रेस्टोरेंट पर लुत्फ खाने पुरसुकून माहौल
रोजा हमारे साथ इफ्तार करें बिल्कुल मुफ्त इफ्तारी के बाद अरूज के तजुर्बे कर शेफ के तैयार करदा लजीज खानों से लुत्फ अंदोज हों स्पेशल रमजान ऑफर मोर देन 50 डिशेस बुफे डिनर
सिर्फ 9.99 बच्चों के लिए 4.99
रमजान के महीने में मैरिज हॉल बुक करें और स्टेज की सजावट बिल्कुल मुफ्त एटिक्लिफ रोड शेफिल्ड टेलीफोन नंबर 01142786786 07867860242.
If you haven't already noticed, Chicken Express Rotherham is now open at Westgate Rotherham. Introducing traditional stone-baked pizza, popular chicken parmesan and peri-peri flavoured southern fried chicken. Our food is precisely prepared and cooked to perfection. Secret recipes, great chicken, real taste. Chicken Express, Westgate Rotherham. Call Rotherham 361616 or find us on Facebook. Free iftar pack with every order. The food Rotherham waited for a long time.
Abbu, we want to go out for a meal. लेकिन हो स्वादिष्ट और ग्रिलिश.
अच्छा, चलो बेटा, आज चलते हैं विकर कबाबिश.
What's the food like at Wicker Kebabish?
Grill specialist, king of curries. अपने स्टाइल में मुनफरिद.
Any special offers?
जी हाँ, 3 full peri-peri chickens plus 3 fries, sauce and salad for £15 only. Outdoor catering also available.
Abbu, I've heard that they started prate shate.
बिल्कुल सही सुना. रमजान के बाद गर्मा-गर्म देसी नाश्ता पेश किया जाएगा. विकर कबाबिश, Wicker, Sheffield 2729117.
There's a million choices available for dining out in Leeds.
But if you want something special, there's only one name to remember.
Mumtaz Leeds.
Relax in our newly refurbished Riverside restaurant.
Enjoy exquisite home cooking from our brand new menu. Upgrade to the Mumtaz Leeds experience.
And the price? Well, we're better value than ever before.
Mumtaz Leeds, Chadwick Street, Leeds. Call 0113 242 4211.
Mom, back from school?
Dinner's ready.
I'm starving. What's cooked?
Check it out.
Wow, so many dishes. Didn't you go to work today?
Yes, I did. Ordered all of this from Zyka Kebabs and Sweets, Rotherham. Whether it's tikka or fish and naan, curries or burgers, samosas, pakoras, kebabs for iftari, all under one roof.
Sounds delicious.
Zyka Kebabs and Sweets, Wellgate, Rotherham, 300 400.
Next time we will do iftari there.
Definitely at Zyka Rotherham.
Equity Law Chambers Solicitors. When your rights are at stake, you need experienced defence lawyers. The law firm of Equity Law. Our experienced team of professionals can assist you in all matters, including family law, immigration, criminal law, drug offences, road traffic cases, fraud and money laundering. Call us today for expert advice on 01709 36 86 03 or visit us at elc-solicitors.co.uk. Equity Law Chambers Solicitors, advocating your rights.
अस्सलामु अलैकुम हम आपके शुक्रगुजार हैं कि आपने अल हबीब वेलफेयर फाउंडेशन के साथ भरपूर तावन किया आपके ज़कात सदक़ात फिदिया और सदक़ातुल फ़ितर बगैर किसी कमी के हम इंतहाई गरीब पसमानदा इलाकों के यतीमों बेवाओं माज़ूरों और ज़रूरतमंदों तक पहुंचाते हैं अल्लाह ताला आपके तावन को कबूलियत का आला दर्जा अता फरमाए
For more information please contact Maulana Aslam Zaid on 0789 454 0303 alhabibwelfarefoundation.co.uk.
Are you a parent? Is your child off to secondary school soon? Would you like your child to be on Hafiz alongside GCSEs? Would you like to send your precious gems to an institute that provides Islamic and secular education? Then look no further. Al Huda Academy is the answer. Our school in Darnell rated excellent by Ofsted. Come and support this academy for the future generation to be young Muslim entrepreneurs. Apply now for courses up to 5 years. Contact Al Huda Academy, Darnell, Sheffield on 0114 221 7907.
In the month of Ramadan, you're listening to Radio Ramadan on 87.7 FM.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You listen to Radio Ramadan Sheffield on 87.7 FM. This program is being broadcasted on Facebook as well. You have the opportunity to listen to that as well. Studio hotline is 0788855998786. You listen to the program Essential Islamic Knowledge. The topic we're discussing is to know him is to love him, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And in today's session we're talking about the Ahlul Bayt, the nobility of the Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt were the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And before I went on the break I mentioned that the thing with the Ahlul Bayt we have to also try and become familiar with as well is i.e. the family of the Prophet during his time, who were his family, i.e. as I mentioned his parents, you should become familiar with his parents and his uncles and his aunties and grandparents as well, and also about the wives of the Prophet ﷺ and his children. But one of the great blessings that we have, and his grandchildren, but one of the great blessings we have as well is the descendant of the Prophet ﷺ who are alive to this day. And this is something that we should we should educate ourselves, to learn ourselves as well, learn in terms of what the family of the Prophet alive today as well. And there are numerous people out there who are the descendant from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they are descended through various branches, and this is something that I'll try and cover as much as I can. So before I went on the break, I said from traditionally, from our teachers mentioned that from the Maturidis, from the Hanafi perspective, it's mentioned that the Ahlul Bayt are considered through two brothers and three brothers. So who are the two brothers? One is Abbas and Harith. So these are the uncles of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So through them two individuals, their descendants who are alive today, they are considered the Ahlul Bayt. And the other one is the other three, which are Aqil, Jafar and Ali. So these are the three brothers, the sons of Abdul Muttalib, and the descendants through them three. I think the most famous one, most people are aware probably, are the Abbas and Sayyidina Ali, and probably Jafar as well, I think. So, you might have heard of somebody might say, oh, this person is a Jafari, or this person is Abbasi, or this person is Alawi, or thingy. So the Ahlul Bayt, they run through them 5. And then we have other school of thought that they mention is anybody who's from the Hashimites, and then we have other ones who from the Quraysh as well. And it's very important that we study the Ahlul Bayt, and in terms of, because the Ahlul Bayt hold a very special status and rank as well, from both from a Aqidah perspective and from a fiqh perspective as well. And this is something that we have to learn and study. And that's why I would recommend, find somebody you can trust, somebody who studied and study the Aqidah, especially from sort of Maturidi Ashari perspective as well, because one of the key things that we believe that the Ahlul Bayt, which is who are the descendants, and this is talking about descendants through Sayyidina Hassan and Hussein, who were the sons of Ali ibn Abi Talib, because their mother was Sayyidina Fatima. So we believe that from a critical point of view, that the Ahlul Bayt, they will not die in state of kufr. That's something that we have to believe. Okay, that's something that we believe. As it's in the books of theology. If you study from Ashari and the Maturidi as well, they'll tell you that the descendant of and again I'll go to a bit more details in terms of what the authentic and the fake. That's something that's a separate issue in itself. So the Ahlul Bayt, our belief is that, and through Hassan and Hussein, anybody whose lineage goes through Hassan and Hussein, that they will not die in state of kufr. However, bear in mind that it doesn't mean that they are sinless, that they we don't believe that they are sinless from within our school. We can have there might be instances where they are, if they fall short in terms of sins and things like that, then the Sharia in itself has to be applied to them. But from a creedal point of view, we believe that they will not die in a state of kufr, and that's talking about the descendants through Sayyidina Hassan and Hussein. And the other aspect is as well, which is worth remembering, is the family of the Prophet ﷺ, again, they are not eligible for zakat, and also it is highly disapproved of to give charity, sadaqah to them as well. And this is you'll find in the fake books as well. So the Ahlul Bayt, they're not eligible to give zakat or to take zakat as well. So that's why if you, and I remember this question, a friend of mine, he asked me this question to ask one of my teachers, because he said that he wanted his families were of Ahlul Bayt. So he was saying that they're very poor, they're from the part of Yemen, I believe it was, and he goes, can I give my zakat or sadaqah to my extended family members who are very poor? And I never thought about that until then, when he posed the question. Then when I asked my teachers, they said traditionally it was not allowed for the Ahlul Bayt to receive take zakat, basically, for them to receive zakat money, even sadaqah money as well, shouldn't be given to them as well. But then he said, our teacher mentioned that because traditionally the state would look after the family of the Prophet ﷺ. However, because of the way things are right now, in some scholars have given leniency and said they are eligible if they're in dire need. But again, he said that is not the best of solution. So the families of the Prophet ﷺ should be given money as a form of gift rather than charity. So from a fiqh perspective, you find that if you have zakat money, how that impacts the Ahlul Bayt. The next thing what I want to discuss about in terms of the mothers of the believers, okay, i.e. the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We should also try and familiarize ourselves. Obviously, the first and foremost, Sayyidina Khadija, who the Prophet ﷺ married at the age of 25, and whilst he was married to her, Prophet ﷺ did not have any other wives, and she, radiallahu anha, she passed away just a few years before the migration. So she was there from the beginning of the revelation until a few years of the migration. She died. The year when she died is known as the year of grief, and it was also the same year his uncle Sayyidina Abu Talib as well passed away. And Prophet ﷺ, all his children were through his wife, Sayyidina Khadija as well. So Zainab, Khulthum, Ruqayya, Fatima, these 4 daughters, and his sons Qasim, Abdullah. They're the 2 famous ones that's mentioned, but in the books that you find that it's also mentioned that there's Talib and Tahir as well. Some say they were the same name of Abdullah, Allahu Alim. And also he had another son as well, Ibrahim, through his another wife called Maria. When Sayyidina Khadija passed away, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he married Sayyidina Sauda. She was his second wife. She was the one he married. Again, she was a widow as well. And then he also married other wives as well. Sayyidina Aisha was another one, daughter of Abu Bakr, and he also married Sayyidina Hafsa, who was the daughter of Sayyidina Umar.
Sayyidina Zainab.
And he also married Sayyidina Zainab as well. She was known as mother of the destitute because she was known to be somebody who would feed the poor and the orphans. And he also married Sayyidina Salama, and she was known to be one of the most learned of the wives of the Prophet, and she lived, I think, the longest as well. I think she was the last one to pass away, I believe. He also was married to Sayyidina Zainab bin Jahash, and he also married Sayyidina Juwayriya, and he also married Sayyidina Habiba, who was the daughter of, was the sister of Muawiyah, daughter of Abu Sufyan. And he also married Sayyidina Maymuna radiallahu anha, and he also married Sayyidina Safiya radiallahu anha as well, who was of Jewish origin as well. Her parents were Jewish as well. So these are some of the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you could pick up any books, and it's worth reading them stories and learning about them, and then going through them stories with your children and family, with your children as well. And I've already mentioned his daughters as well. Unfortunately, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all his children passed away during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, except for Sayyidina Fatima. So Sayyidina Fatima was the only one who survived until after the Prophet passed away. Even then, she passed away roughly about 6 months after the demise of Prophet ﷺ as well. So she passed away shortly after the passing away of Prophet ﷺ. And Prophet ﷺ, he also had grandchildren through his other daughters as well, and most of them passed away as well. He had grandchildren through Zainab, and he also had grandchildren through Ruqayya and Uthman, who's the Sahaba who was married to Ruqayya. They had a child, his name was Abdullah, and he passed away at a young age. And Sayyidina Fatima, she that's why the offspring, the descendant of the Prophet ﷺ is mainly through because Sayyidina Umayma, whom my daughter mentioned earlier on, she did not have any children as well. So she did not have any children, and Prophet ﷺ, through Fatima, and who was married to Sayyidina Ali, who was the cousin of the Prophet ﷺ, they had children, Hassan and Hussein, and they also had another son called Muhsin. He passed away quite young as well, and they also had a daughter called Khulthum as well. So, but the main lineage of the strongest lineage of going back to the Prophet ﷺ is through Hassan and Hussein, through Fatima, through Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's why you could say the golden branch, the golden thing is our lineage going back to Prophet ﷺ, and through his uncles, i.e. Abbas or Harith or Jafar or Aqil, again they are considered the Ahlul Bayt, and they should be deserving of our utmost respect, and we should be familiarized with them as well. And so to this day, alhamdulillah, it's a great blessing that we have so many Ahlul Bayt out there in many different parts of the world, and even including in UK as well. And if I think one of the key issues that people have. Sometimes sometimes you hear, oh, there are negative sort of views as well, but that shouldn't put people off as well. So if you come, just because actually there's something else as well. There's a science called the science of genealogy as well. So in Islamic, I think I mentioned before as well, there are many sciences out there to be studied, and one of the sciences in Islamic field is the science of genealogy. The science of genealogy, and that's about studying the genealogy of the prophets of the Ahlul Bayt basically. And one of our teachers, he was an expert on that as well, and he actually told us that he studied that with one of his shuyukhs, because one of his teachers, she was an expert of genealogy who taught him that subject. And he told us that by studying the sciences, you could find out if somebody is a genuine Ahlul Bayt, and they have their own ways. And and he also told us that there is another way of knowing somebody is Ahlul Bayt is through what's known as Kashaf as well, and that's something else I'm not going to go too much into right now. And so Alhamdulillah, to this day there are we have so many people out there who are descendant of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and I'll go to that a bit more later on why it's important to know them as well. The other aspect is the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is you find that I think you mentioned earlier, thing as well, is towards the end of time. It's also important to know that it's mentioned towards the end of time, when things get in a very precarious positions, right, and which some people might think we are living right now, or things getting worse, is the Mahdi. Okay, the Mahdi towards the end of time who will come. It is known, established fact that he will be from the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and it is that's why that's something else worth noting about as well. I think where was that? So I think I've been talking quite a lot as well. So if anybody's got any comments, thoughts, or anything you'd like to share, then this number is 07885559978. That's 07885559978. We're talking about the Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You're listening to the topic of essential Islamic knowledge, and so this is something worth reflecting on as well. In terms of the Ahlul Bayt, something else that worth noting is in terms of the respect and veneration they deserve as well. So actually, there's something else that people might pose is, how come we have so many? I mean, I've heard that many times as well. Why is it that we have there is Ahlul Bayt from certain part of the world, either Indian subcontinent or in Africa and them kind of places? And to understand that, you have to study a little bit of history. So that's something that requires studying a little bit of history in terms of to understand the why the Ahlul Bayt are from different parts of the world. Sometimes you come across somebody and they might be they don't look Arab or anything like that, because our natural assumption might be that Ahlul Bayt should be pure Arab, but that is not always the case, because again that you need to study, because if you study the history, you'll see that the family of the Prophet and the Hassan and Hussein, for instance, they got married and they had children, and then after this of the Khilafah Rashidin, when things we had a lot of fitna and stuff like that in the Islamic world, and especially in the in the early phase of Islamic phase, that you find that a lot of the Ahlul Bayt, they were persecuted for one reason or another, and then what happened was they actually moved out as well. So we have various incidents where the Ahlul Bayt, they weren't safe, so they had to move from Central Arabia to other parts of the world, because don't forget, the Muslim, within a very short space of time, within the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab, the Islamic empire spread from all the way from what is known as from Makkah, Medina, all the way to as far as Iraq, going even in parts of Afghanistan as well. And then you have on the other side going up all the way to Maghrib as well, to Morocco, to Egypt, even as far as Morocco by the time of Sayyidina Uthman ibn Affan. And then you have up north as well, he's going up all the places like, some of you might have heard this country name, Azerbaijan, which I'm sure a lot of you probably, some people might never heard of the country until recently. Azerbaijan, which is the final of Europa League Cup is taking place. That country was conquered by the Muslims, and which is again next to all the other places like Uzbekistan and other places as well, and then Yemen and all those other places. So during the times of Sahabas, right, you could see the Islamic Empire was very vast and wide. So when the turmoil started happening in the Arabian Peninsula, a lot of the Ahlul Bayt, they moved in other parts of the Muslim world where they were safe, and also they were given refuge as well. So you have descendants of the family of the Ahlul Bayt. They moved towards sort of Iraq, and further afield towards sort of Afghanistan, so towards the Indian region as well. And then you have a lot of Ahlul Bayt that moved towards in the west as well, towards Maghrib in Morocco, because by the time the Umayyads rules came to an end, when the Abbasids came into power, unfortunately, even though it was the golden sort of phase, it's known as the golden phase of learning and education and library and everything, the Abbasids in the early phase, they went to, the Abbasids themselves were Ahlul Bayt, descendant of Sayyidina Abbas, but they also had animosity towards the other members of the Ahlul Bayt, so they did persecute a lot of Ahlul Bayt as well, and because of that reason, a lot of the Ahlul Bayt, they moved him to other parts of the world where they were a bit safer, i.e. in Egypt and as far as Morocco as well. We have incident where he was in Morocco. From Morocco, they even moved to as far as Spain and Al-Andalus or Andalusia. They moved there as well. And then eventually you have an Ahlul Bayt. So they, then we have the Ahlul Bayt through the descendant of Sayyidina Hassan. He moved to Morocco, and there then they got married and settled down, and they established their sort of family there as well. And then you have the Ahlul Bayt, they established families towards the Indian subcontinent as well, and they spread because the way to see it, right, the children, they got married and they had children, they got married, they had children, and it just branching out basically. That's how we have so much Ahlul Bayt in different parts of the world. I've met, and don't be surprised, or don't be thinking as well, if you come across Ahlul Bayt who are of sort of African origin as well. We have Ahlul Bayt of African origin as well, because the Ahlul Bayt, they moved to in the parts of Africa, and through over generations they got married, and generation after that you find we have Ahlul Bayt as well, especially in places like Tanzania and in the East Africa as well. There are Ahlul Bayt as well, and moving on to Yemen as well. So Ahlul Bayt, they spread throughout many different parts of the world. And one of the key thing about the Ahlul Bayt, you find that is, they spread, and that's how to this day we have Ahlul Bayt thing as well, and the numbers are numerous as well. If you come across, that's why people say, and that's why to this day, if coming back to the generations, right, there's about at least 35, 40 generations coming from the Prophet ﷺ to now as well. So over time, in terms of marrying into different tribes and different races, their appearance has changed, and Ahlul Bayt are considered through the, generally speaking, from a fiqh perspective, is through the father. That's the lineage, is through the father as well. So if the lineage sort of survives through the male descendants basically. So sometimes we have descendants, and they sort of ends when an Ahlul Bayt doesn't have any male offspring, and if it's only female offspring, then they are part of the Ahlul Bayt, but the actual sort of lineage comes to an end. But it doesn't mean that that's the end of that, because there are other branches through other parts of the thing, to other people as well. And it's a great blessing, because we do have a lot of Ahlul Bayt that are alive today, from Yemen, from Syria, from Iraq, from Libya, from Morocco, from the Indian subcontinent as well, from Pakistan and them kind of places as well. And they will tell you their lineages, either through Hassan or Hussein, or they might say through Jafar or through Aqil or through Ali, because Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, he also, so after the passing away of Sayyidina Fatima, he also got married as well, and he had children through his other marriages as well. So the lot of lineages go through Sayyidina Ali, and a lot of them known by Alawi as well. Okay, we're going to go to our next, coming up to our next break. Okay, so I think the azan is first, so I'm going to play the azan and then the break, and we'll be back shortly after the news as well.
रेडियो रमदान शेफियल्ड से ये आजान यूके लीगल एस्टेट्स, एक्विटी लॉ चैम्बर सॉलिसिटर्स, माई चिकन एक्सप्रेस विकर, एशमन्स सॉलिसिटर्स और कवर श्योर इंश्योरेंस सर्विसेज रॉदरम के ताउन से नशर की जा रही है। अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت سيدنا محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. O Allah, Lord of this perfect call, of not ascribing partners to you, and of the regular prayer which is going to be established, kindly give Muhammad, peace be upon him, the right of intercession and superiority, and send him on the day of judgment to the best and highest place in paradise which you had promised. This azan was sponsored by UK Legal Estates.
UK Legal Estates, actively seeking properties in your area. Proud of our successful track record, selling or letting, always maximising profits for our clients. Landlords can now advertise their properties for free. Give your property the exposure it deserves. Require maintenance work? Let us help you with 0% interest rates. Remember, UK Legal Estates, your one-stop property shop. Call us now. 01142 58 57 50. UK Legal Auctions, coming soon.
Equity Law Chamber Solicitors.
Equity Law Chambers Solicitors. When your rights are at stake, you need experienced defense lawyers. The law firm of Equity Law. Our experienced team of professionals can assist you in all matters, including family law, immigration, criminal law, drug offences, road traffic cases, fraud and money laundering. Call us today for expert advice on 01709 36 86 03 or visit us at elc-solicitors.co.uk. Equity Law Chamber Solicitors, advocating your rights.
And My Chicken Express Wicker.
Let's take you to My Chicken Express at the Wicker, an express that originally started from Wicker and ends in Wicker. Express buckets, family treats, platters, boneless and loaded boxes. Come with your family and enjoy. Special Ramadan offer. Full 2 peri-peri chicken for £10 plus rice or chips. Delivery service available for iftar parties in Ramadan. My Chicken Express at the Wicker. Visit us at mychickenexpress.co.uk.
And Ashman's Solicitors.
Ashman's Solicitors, specialists in criminal law, motoring law and family law. Our expert solicitors have years of experience. We are renowned for our tenacious attitude in seeking the best possible result for our clients. Based in the heart of Sheffield, we are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you or a family member require advice or assistance, then take advantage of our free confidential telephone consultation and call us now on 01144 784490 or visit ashmanssolicitors.com.
And Azan also sponsored by Covershaw Insurance Services, Rotherham.
चौधरी साहब अनएम्प्लॉयड बंदा परेशान ना हो तो क्या करे
यार फिश एंड चिप्स कर लो रेस्टोरेंट खोल लो
और ये सब तो कर लूं पर इंश्योरेंस कहां से करवाऊंगा
Don't worry, leave all your insurance problems to Covershaw Insurance Services. We provide insurance for small to large businesses which include takeaway, restaurants, commercial residents, homes, properties, motor fleet insurance and employer and public liability insurance. Covershaw Insurance Services, Masborough Street, Rotherham. Contact Roxana on 01709 209 411.
In the month of Ramadan, you're listening to Radio Ramadan on 87.7 FM.
In the month of Ramadan, you're listening to Radio Ramadan on 87.7 FM.
Yes? Who is it?
Mr. Compensator. Mr. Compensator. एक इंश्योरेंस कंपनी मिस्टर कॉम्पनसेटर को हराने की कोशिश में लगी हुई है लेकिन वो ये नहीं जानते मिस्टर कॉम्पनसेटर को हराना मुश्किल नहीं नामुमकिन है टैक्सी क्लेम ले आओ और 2000 ले जाओ मिस्टर कॉम्पनसेटर गोल्डन टैक्सी एपिडेल रोड S71FJ कॉल 0114 3863 386
Agra Restaurants, family-friendly, award-winning Kashmiri cuisine. 2 branches in Sheffield. Crystal Peaks Buffet Restaurant with a la carte available. Extensive buffet with more than 60 dishes, including salads and desserts. Telephone 0114 248 2049. And Leopold Square a la carte restaurant. Telephone 0114 279 5577. Buffet also available Sunday and Monday. Event catering for all occasions. Offering complimentary iftari to all our brothers and sisters during the month of Ramadan. Agra.com.
In the month of Ramadan, you're listening to Radio Ramadan on 87.7 FM.
In the month of Ramadan, you're listening to Radio Ramadan on 87.7 FM.
From the Sky News Centre at 7. Boris Johnson's going to have to appear in court over comments he made during the 2016 Brexit referendum. Claims that the UK sends £350 million a week to the EU were plastered over a red campaign bus used by Vote Leave. He's being accused of misconduct in public office in a private prosecution brought by a campaigner. The frontrunner in the Tory leadership race has refused to answer reporters' questions.
Mr Johnson, do you accept that you deliberately misled the public? Do you have anything to say, Mr Johnson?
A special investigator who examined allegations that Donald Trump colluded with Russia says his report does not exonerate the president. Special counsel Robert Mueller says if he could have cleared the president of obstruction of justice, he would have said so. An inquest has heard one of the 3 London Bridge terrorists was captured on CCTV buying knives at a supermarket before the attack. 2 weeks later, he returned to buy wine bottles, which he converted into bombs. Calls for Northern Rail to lose its franchise have been rejected by the government. The mayors of Liverpool and Greater Manchester have hit out at train delays and cancellations, but the Department for Transport says change could result in significant disruption. London rivals Chelsea and Arsenal are based less than 7 miles away from each other, but tonight they're meeting 2,500 miles from home. They play in an all-English Europa League final in Baku in Azerbaijan in an hour. It's taken Chelsea fan Jake Ralph and his dad Kevin 5 days to get there.
Basically, the train line ran out and we had to get cabs from Kars to Tbilisi. So we got a cab to the Georgian border. And I'd read online that there were cabs waiting the other side of the border, but when we got there were no cabs. So we just started walking up the road, basically.
And James Arthur has hit out at Glastonbury after being left off the lineup again. The X Factor winner, who's never played the festival, has accused him of being snobs and looking down on him. That's the latest. I'm Annie Green.
It's really easy to fall into a decor rut. Your furniture can appear tired and your home can cease to resemble you. Clicking your fingers can't get you a new interior, but Ideal Rooms can. Our showroom hosts everything you'll need to modernise your home. A wide range of stylish, contemporary and modern living room furniture, lighting, carpets and flooring, blinds and bedroom furniture. You'll always find something to suit. Give your home a brand new look. Come to Ideal Rooms, modern living for less.
Ideal Rooms, Fitzwilliam Road, Eastwood, Rotherham.
Had an accident, not your fault. Car and Solicitors, a team of professionals dedicated to winning you 100% compensation with free advice and assistance. Over 15 years of experience assisting you with road traffic accidents, trips, slips, employer's liability. We can recover your uninsured losses, i.e. vehicle damage, recovery, storage and loss of earnings. Car and Solicitors, 351 Abbeydale Road, Sheffield. Come see us or call 0114 258 3399 or visit carnsolicitors.com. Terms and conditions apply.
मलक साहब परेशान नजर आ रहे हो क्या बात है
चौधरी साहब अनएम्प्लॉयड बंदा परेशान ना हो तो क्या करे
यार फिश एंड चिप्स कर लो रेस्टोरेंट खोल लो
और ये सब तो कर लूं पर इंश्योरेंस कहां से करवाऊंगा
Don't worry, leave all your insurance problems to Covershaw Insurance Services. We provide insurance for small to large businesses which include takeaway, restaurants, commercial residents, homes, properties, motor fleet insurance and employer and public liability insurance. Covershaw Insurance Services, Masborough Street, Rotherham. Contact Roxana on 01709 209 411.
Ashman's Solicitors, specialists in criminal law, motoring law and family law. Our expert solicitors have years of experience. We are renowned for our tenacious attitude in seeking the best possible result for our clients. Based in the heart of Sheffield, we are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you or a family member require advice or assistance, then take advantage of our free confidential telephone consultation and call us now on 01144 784490 or visit ashmanssolicitors.com.
चलो चलिए ओरिएंट एक्सप्रेस रॉदरूम ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਯਾਫਤਾ ਬੈਂਕੁਏਟਸ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟ ਐਂਡ ਟੇਕ ਅਵੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤੱਕੀ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਖਾਣੇ ਦਾ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਵੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਵੇ ਦੁਆ ਕਰਨਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਵੀ 400 ਸੀਟ ਵਾਲੇ ਇਸੇ ਹਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਵੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰੋਟੀ ਵਾਲੀ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ 1000 ਰੋਟੀ ਘੰਟੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੱਢੇ weddings anniversaries birthday parties indoor and outdoor caterers open 7 days a week Orient Express phone 01709 555527.
At iLet4U, we know that being a landlord can be a frustrating business, but it doesn't have to be. iLet4U can find you tenants in under a week.
अगर आप मकान किराए पे लगाना चाहते हैं तो हमारी खिदमत हासिल करें और घर बैठे किराया पाएं। iLet4U आपको 3 से 5 साल तक गारंटीड रेंट की जमानत देता है।
Start finding tenants today by contacting iLet4U, 60 Page Hall Road, Sheffield, 0114 327 2020. iLet4U.
Connecting you to your community. This is Radio Ramadan Sheffield on 87.7 FM.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back. You're listening to Radio Ramadan Sheffield 87.7 FM. You're listening to Essential Islamic Knowledge. I'm your host Iqbal. We're talking about to know him is to love him. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And the subject we're discussing today is the nobility of the Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and how it is important that we become very familiarize ourselves with the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and so that we can inculcate the love of the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to our children as well. I think Rumay, so you want to read this next hadith, so do you want to read it? Go on.
And the hadith, I have left you with two mighty the book of Allah and the family of my house and the people of my house are security from my nation.
Thank you. That was my reading assistant. Jazakallah. Thank you, Rumaisa. Okay, so the first hadith, right, talks about Prophet ﷺ said right here, I have left you two mighty matters, the book of Allah and the family of my house. So he's talking about the family. Obviously the other one, which is actually is less. This one's a more stronger hadith than the other one, but the other one's more famous that mentions about I have left you the Quran, the book of Allah, i.e. the Quran and Sunnah. Well, this one he talks about the Ahlul Bayt. And the second one is the people of my house are security for my nation. So this is something else that we should be really, it's worth reflecting on as well. Because one of the key things is we believe that there are people on this earth, and because of those people, i.e. the pious people, the awliyas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He sort of withholds punishment coming to that place because of our sins as well. And the greatest people, and if it's the Ahlul Bayt, if it's the members of the Ahlul Bayt, then they're there, that makes it even more special as well. One of the key things we're talking about the Ahlul Bayt is that in terms of having connection with them as well, or the importance, the benefits of Ahlul Bayt. And I'll tell you something, this is something, another thing worth reflecting as well, because why we should learn about Ahlul Bayt and how important and significant roles they have played in terms of Islamic civilizations. This is something, if you look at some of the greatest da'i and some of the greatest people of who are the what do you call it? Are the people of tasawwuf, or the people of shuyukh and tariqas, basically, you would find that most of them, the founders of the tariqas, are from Ahlul Bayt, or from Ahlul Bayt. So for instance, you have Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. I'm sure most of our listeners probably have heard of him, the famous, even though he's considered amongst the one of the greatest Sufi saint, but he was also a great faqih and scholar as well. That's one thing people don't realize, that he was also a great scholar as well. Even Ibn Jawzi, who was another famous scholar, is mentioned that there's a beautiful story that if you're familiar with Ibn Jawzi, he's written books on numerous topics, and he's considered a great jurist, a great scholar, a great hadith writer, a prolific hadith writer as well. And there's a beautiful story that mentioned that once he was in a gathering of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, and Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani was giving a tafsir of this particular surah, and Ibn Jawzi was with one of his a friend of his who was a scholar as well, and Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani was giving an interpretation of this particular verse, and his friend was turning to Ibn Jawzi, was saying, did you know this? And Ibn Jawzi was saying, yes, I know this. And then Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani gave another explanation. He said, did you know this? He goes, yes. And he continued like that, and I think it mentions a number, I think it was about at least over 50 interpretation of this particular verse. And then afterward, Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, he continued giving more interpretations, and Ibn Jawzi said, I don't know this, basically. So he was submitting to the scholarship or knowledge of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, even though we associate him as a great Sufi saint, as a founder of the famous Qadiri tariqa. We should not forget that all the founders of the tasawwuf of Shaykh, right, they're all first and foremost were scholars as well. This idea or this concept that Sufis and scholars is a two separate entity, that doesn't exist. That's a modern concept. Traditionally, all the men of Allah, the Sufis, what we call Sufis, right, i.e. they were also great scholars as well. Because how can you be a great man of God, a great man of tasawwuf, right, without having knowledge of fiqh and aqidah and other hadith and Quran and various other sciences as well. So that's something that is worth reflecting as well. So Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani, he was Ahlul Bayt, that we don't need to go too much into details. He was somebody who followed the Ashari tariqa as well, and he was considered somebody who was followed the, some say he was a Hanbali madhab, some say he was a Shafi, some say he was a Maliki. Again, he followed the school of thought in fiqh and also in aqidah as well, and also tasawwuf sense wise. Okay. The other famous Sufi saint, Sheikh Naqshbandi as well, the Naqshbandi tariqa, that's another famous one, who's buried in Uzbekistan, modern day Uzbekistan. Again, he was a Ahlul Bayt as well. and he was a great scholar as well. I don't have too much information on him, but he is someone who is buried in his mausoleum is in Uzbekistan, and it's mentioned that one of our teachers mentioned that there's a huge tree that's emanated from his grave, and again he was a Ahlul Bayt. Another Sheikh Ahmed Tijani as well. He's another Tasawwuf of Sufi Tariqa, and he's buried in Fez. I've been to his I've had the thingy of visiting his grave in Fez in Morocco, and he has a very large followers as well, and they're primarily in Africa. You'll find a lot of in Africa, the Tijani Tariqa, and he was of Ahlul Bayt as well. He was from the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then we have other great saints as well, like for instance Sheikh Abdul Salam ibn Mahshish, he was of Ahlul Bayt as well, and another Sheikh Abu Hassan al-Shadili, he was of Ahlul Bayt as well. He was from Morocco and has many great followers who followed him as well. It's in terms of tasawwuf, a spiritual path, the Shadili. You have Imam Suyuti, Imam Nawawi, as some of the great people who follow the Shadili Tariqas, Imam Sharani, all these people, they follow the Shadili Tariqa. So he's another of Ahlul Bayt. And then we also Ahmed Rifai as well. That's another famous Tariqa, which is very famous, and actually he has a very large followers from Iraq, and he was of Ahlul Bayt as well. So all these in terms of people of guidance, people of Ma'rifah, people of Tasawwuf, they're all the founders, the founder themselves. You'll find that they're of Ahlul Bayt as well. They're from the lineage of Ahlul Bayt. And you find a lot of the great Da'i as well took Islam to many parts of the Muslim world. They're from Ahlul Bayt as well. For instance, in Bangladesh, where I'm from, it is well established fact that it was the famous saint Shah Jalal who brought. Islam was there, but it wasn't in the mass number as well. But it was Shah Jalal, who was the great saint from Yemen, who came with his followers and disciples, and he came in as a Da'i, and he brought Islam to Bangladesh, and within 100 years, the vast majority of the people became Muslim, and he was of Ahlul Bayt as well. Shah Jalal, the famous saint Shah Jalal, who was from Yemen, and you find that. If you look at through our history as well, you find different stories. They will say that this saint came to our village, came to our town, came to our country, who brought Islam, and vast majority of them you'll find that he was thereof Ahlul Bayt, the lineage basically. So that is something worth reflecting on. So it's something that we should bear in mind, that we should and this hadith which Prophet mentioned, that the people of my house are security for my nation. And what a great blessing to have the family of the Prophet ﷺ. And to this day, alhamdulillah, we have many Ahlul Bayt who are alive, who, as I mentioned, from Syria, from Yemen, from Iraq, and various other parts of the world, and they come and visit our shore every now and then. Some of them you must have heard of them, and you should take this opportunity to go and see them, go and visit them, be in their gatherings, just for the blessings. Take your children, get them to make dua, ask them to make dua for your children, and and yes, we have some stories, people abusing, and there are fake charlatans out there claiming to be so and so, but that doesn't matter. We don't. That's not our concern. If they're fake, then leave them as they are. It doesn't mean that the saying goes, throw the baby with the bathwater, basically. So that's something. And also that towards the end of time, it's mentioned that the Imam Mahdi will appear, and Imam Mahdi will be from the family of the Prophet ﷺ, and that's a long subject in itself. It's mentioned that he will be of descendant through, some say Hassan, some say Hussein. His lineage will trace through either Hussein or Hassan. There are many opinions. Some say it will be through Abbasid, others say it will be through Jafar as well. And but that's again, well, one clear thing is that he will be from somebody of the Ahlul Bayt. So that's something that we should bear in mind, that we should attach ourselves to the family of the Prophet ﷺ. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't do that. And if you come across charlatans or people taking the name of the Ahlul Bayt and abusing it and violating it, whatever it is, right, it doesn't mean that the Ahlul Bayt in itself should be dishonored or should be neglected or should be left alone, you just leave that person. You just you show the almost adab to that person, and you yourself don't affiliate with that person. We don't, like I said, right, we don't condemn everybody by the actions of few, because just as we Muslims, we don't want others to condemn the whole nation of Muslims because of the actions of few individuals who go around committing atrocities. The same way, we Muslims has to remember the same principle as well, that we don't condemn everybody because of actions of few dodgy people or few people who abuse their powers and authority as well. And the other important thing as well, the Ahlul Bayt, we have people of Ahlul Bayt in authority as well. If you look at the Morocco, which is probably, it is the official thing in that country itself, that they follow the Maliki in terms of that's the official madhab, and they follow the Ashari in terms of creed, and they follow the Tasawwuf of Sufism as well. The king of Morocco, he's an actual descendant of the Prophet ﷺ. His lineage goes back all the way to the founders of the city of Fez. And then his lineage goes back all the way through to Sayyidina Hassan ibn Abi Talib. So the king of Morocco, Hassan II, his lineage goes back to, he traces the lineage all the way to the founder of the city itself, going back a number of generations, and then through to Sayyidina Hassan, going through to Sayyidina Ali. And it is, in Morocco, I've been there a few times, and mashallah, there are lots of Ahlul Bayt as well, because the founder of the city of Morocco, his lineage spreads out as well. And then you find amongst the Ahlul Bayt, the branches spread out as well. So you have certain families become very famous, and they are well known, i.e. the Qattani family, which are very well known, a scholarly family as well from Morocco. Then you have the Alawi family, which are again from Yemen, and also from Medina as well. So you have all these different families out there, and there are other families that I'm sure we're not aware of, that that we should be. But if you do come across Ahlul Bayt, then like I said, right, it's very important to attach yourself, because it's very important that the thing I mentioned about the Imam Mahdi, one of the key things that I pose to people is, if you're not attached to, or if you're not familiar with the Ahlul Bayt, and if you don't have a deep connection, if you don't know who they are, if you don't know where they're from, then towards the end of time, the Imam Mahdi, he is going to be from the Ahlul Bayt. He is going to be from the Ahlul Bayt. So when he appears, and when he claims to, then, and if your attitude or if your connection is not there, then, you're going to find yourself on the wrong side of the border or group or whatever you want to call yourself. I just mentioned a few more hadiths with regards to virtues of the Ahlul Bayt. Again, some of the things that hadith from there is this book, which is called The Endless Nobility of the Ahlul Bayt by Sheikh Yusuf al-Nabhani, and he was a modern scholar. This is hadith book, and he wrote this book, which had been translated, and he was somebody who was born in 1265 Hijrah from Nahban, from modern day Nahban, which is in Palestine, and which is Christian era 1849. That was the year when he was born, and he studied in various places, and he was a Shafi. He was from the Shafi madhab and the Ashari Islamic doctrine, and he was again somebody who was followed the great tariq as well. And he wrote this book, which is called The Endless Nobility of the Ahlul Bayt, and the book is available. It's been translated by Arfan Shah al-Bukhari as well. And this hadith, which is from At-Tirmidhi, and also in An-Nasai, it says, I swear by the possessor of my soul, from Prophet ﷺ, that faith does not enter the heart of a man until he loves for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. And another hadith, which is from Ibn Majah and from Al-Hakim as well, is what is wrong with people who converse, and when they see a man of my family, they stop talking. I swear by Allah, the faith does not enter the heart of a man until he loves them for the sake of Allah and my family for my sake. And this next this is from Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi. It's mentioned that I swear by the presence of my soul, you shall not enter paradise until you believe. You shall not believe until you love for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. Do you hope my intercession, and do you not hope it for the tribe of Abdul Muttalib? So there are various other narrations as well, and again, this is talking about the perfection of faith. This is talking about full conviction of the faith as well. So we don't want to go too much into it, but you can see the importance that's been given by Prophet ﷺ about having great love for the family of the Prophet ﷺ and about having connection with them. And if you want intercession, then we have to how can anybody have any kind of misgivings or shortcoming with the family of the Prophet ﷺ, because we all want intercession of the Prophet ﷺ. So we don't want to be on the Day of Judgment having any ill feelings, because as I mentioned previously, the Prophet ﷺ, he's shown he was given information by the angels. Something else about the family of the Prophet ﷺ as well, and this is something worth reflecting now. I'm going to finish the program today as well, why it is important that we sort of at least have some kind of connection, because the family of the Prophet ﷺ is intertwined in our salah every day as well. Alhamdulillah, we all pray 5 times a day, and every salah that you pray, we mention about the family of the Prophet ﷺ. In the At-Tahiyyat position, what do we say in the At-Tahiyyat? In the Durood Sharif, we say, "Oh Allah, send your salutations upon the Prophet ﷺ." And the next part which says, "Oh Allah, send Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad," and salutations upon the family of the Prophet ﷺ. So you can see that it's it's something that we mention in our salah every day and every prayers. We're mentioning about the family, about Prophet ﷺ, and about the family of the Prophet ﷺ as well. So these sort of zikrs or worship within our salah, right? We shouldn't just leave it to words. We should try and make it come alive within our worship, as well. And it's very important to do that, because one of the great scholars he's mentioned, it's a great his name was Dr. Umar Farooq Abdullah, who said, knowledge is necessary to bring worship to life. Knowledge is nourishment of the heart. So in order to bring our worship, everything we're doing in terms of in this month of Ramadan and continuing as well, is we need knowledge of a lot of things, i.e. the Quran. We need to study a lot of fake Aqidah. We need to study about the family of the Prophet ﷺ. We need to study about the Prophet ﷺ himself, in terms of his behavior, mannerism, and various other aspects as well. We need to study the Quran, learn the Quran, and then the Shah mentions knowledge is nourishment of the heart. So with that, I'm going to take leave, and inshallah, hopefully, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and the love of the Prophet ﷺ into our heart, and give us the love of the family of the Prophet ﷺ into our heart as well, and try and give us the tawfiq to learn as much as we can, and to inculcate our children the love of the Prophet ﷺ and his family, and also the love, teach them about the Quran as well. I think Rumaysa, did you want to come and read some Quran before we finish? Come on, quickly. Okay, I think Rumaysa, you want to read the Quran, so come on then. Do you want to read the Quran? Which surah do you want to read? Okay, come closer and read then. Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad.
Jazakallah, thank you. So that was Surah Ikhlas from Rumaysa, and with that, I will take our leave. And if I've said anything wrong, then I seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is the 20th anniversary of Radio Ramadan as well, and it's something that we should celebrate as well. And to our listeners out there, try and make the most of this Ramadan, however many days left, and remember make dua for everyone, make dua for your families, make dua for your loved ones, make dua for the people going through trials and tribulations as well. Try and do as much as you can. Try and don't forget your neighbors and whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim as well. And we should try and do as much as we can to learn about the Prophet ﷺ and try and imbibe the good character, the good noble, the mercy, the compassion, all that, so that we, within ourselves as well, and following the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ, and attach ourselves to the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. So with that in mind, Jazakallah, thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Nasheed, Nats, Koalis, live shows. Keep listening on 87.7 FM.
क्या आप बच्चों की शादी के सिलसिले में परेशान हैं? क्या आप बर्तानिया में ही बच्चों की शादी करना चाहते हैं? क्या आप एक अच्छे रिश्ते की तलाश में हैं? अगर इन सवालों का जवाब हाँ में है, तो आपका मसला हल हो गया। बर्तानिया में रिहाइश पजीर आला तालीम याफ्ता किसी भी बरादरी के अच्छे रिश्तों के लिए आप राब्ता मैरिज हेल्पलाइन से इस टेलीफोन नंबर पर राब्ता कायम करें 01142425400। राब्ता मैरिज हेल्पलाइन मुसलमान खानदानों को करीब लाने का राब्ता।
Join us this Ramzan at the largest Indian restaurant Akash for our mega buffet with over 54 items.
Buffet price Sunday to Wednesday £13.95, Thursday to Saturday £14.95.
With Ruhafsa and dates to break your fast.
We're alcohol free.
Catering for families and large parties. We can seat up to 600 guests at any one time.
Book your table now on 01274 878866. Akash Restaurant, Bradford Road, Cleckheaton, West Yorkshire. Hope to see you soon.
The Big Aid Convoy is back. Muslim Hands are sending another aid convoy to help feed Syrian refugees in Turkey. Join us from the 16th to the 27th of May and donate your 20 kg bags of rice between 3 to 11 p.m. Your local drop-off point and container is located at Fatima Community Centre. For more information, visit muslimhands.org.uk. This Ramadan, give more, gain more.
माई चिकन एक्सप्रेस विकर शेफील्ड पेरी पेरी और फ्राई चिकन का ऐसा मरकज जो आपको बार-बार खाने और लौट कर आने पर मजबूर कर दे रमजानुल मुबारक स्पेशल ऑफर 2 फुल पेरी पेरी चिकन और राइस या चिप्स सिर्फ 10 पाउंड में इसके साथ-साथ हमारी हाई फाइव ऑफर से भरपूर लुत्फ उठाएं इफ्तार के लिए डिलीवरी सर्विस भी दस्तयाब है माई चिकन एक्सप्रेस शेफील्ड का वाहिद ओरिजिनल स्टोर सो नकालों से होशियार माई चिकन एक्सप्रेस 29 विकर शेफील्ड 275575
मर्दों खवातीन के लिए रोदरम का बेस्ट स्किन केयर क्लिनिक
Elite Beauty Clinic laser hair removal thread wear reduction laser skin rejuvenation acne clearance skin brightening manicure and pedicures nail extension hair dressing cutting and coloring
हमारे पास कंसल्टेशन और ट्रीटमेंट्स के लिए उर्दू और पंजाबी बोलने वाली खवातीन स्टाफ भी मौजूद है
Wellgate Rotherham call us now on 01709371166
चांद रात को ट्रीटमेंट्स के अलावा मेहंदी लगाने का इंतजाम भी होगा Elite Beauty Clinic देर रात तक खुला रहेगा
Thanks to you, we're over halfway to our goal. You are building a brighter and safer future. With just £35, you can restore someone's eyesight. Imagine, with your support, someone can see the beauties and colours of this world and smiles of their loved ones. Please continue your support by calling us on 0208 5696 444 or visit our website almustafatrust.org.
The Carpet Stop continues to bring you even more amazing offers with free fitting available on hundreds of carpets, free home visits and estimates, and great offers on beds and mattresses. So if you're in need of carpets, laminate flooring, vinyls, rugs, beds or mattresses, pay us a visit at Greenland Road, Darnall, Sheffield. Telephone 0114 261 6888 or visit us at thecarpetstop.co.uk. Special offer for our listeners, free underlay on selected ranges.
The Carpet Stop for the best on the floor price.
Do you require windows or shutters for your shop, garage or home? Are you thinking of renovating your house? Are you planning an extension to your home? If the answer is yes, then look no further. Nick Elvis Dragut is here to get your next job done in a professional and friendly environment. Quality work carried out at affordable prices. 24-hour emergency call-out service. Get your free quotes now. Contact Nick Elvis by calling 07547 835 080. Nick Elvis, a job done to satisfy your needs.
Radio Ramadan. What can I say?
I'll tell you what we can do. Let